Haven homesteading, and today we are doing our
first
tea
break
time.
That's why it's the first one. We're still trying to get down. Anyway,
break time.
But we're not in our official tea break studio because we are in the middle of a project. So the missus thought, we'll just do it outside and then we can carry on. So anyway.
Today is 4th of July.
Today is the 4th of July. Good
Happy
day to start.
4th of July. And you said, I don't know why I'm... So today is the 249th.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Birthday.
Correct.
And next year is the
250th.
And so that's next year.
Because we were about to celebrate it this year until we weren't.
Yes. So anyhow, the reason why I thought today would be a good time to mention that sort of a mishap is because it kind of felt that way when we went out and about today. We went to the grocery store. Well, our grocery store in our local area is the Walmart Superstore. Is the main big grocery store in our area. And I noticed when we went in there, and I don't think it just was there. Actually.
No, it's like all throughout town. It was like, I think people forgot it was the 4th of July.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's the work week or something like that. I mean, it's a Friday. I mean, that's just a good day to like celebrate the fact that it's a Friday that you're off. But the idea of it being the 4th of July, Independence Day for America, I mean, it always was like a big deal. And for some reason this year...
Yeah, it's normally, like you said, there's normally flags out and stuff going on.
Something.
And even 4th of July sales and this and that. And it was like...
Well, yeah, they would at least have the displays of a 4th of July sale. Or they would have, like, when you walk into the door, into the front entrance right there, they would have, like, little, just little end tables or end caps of items that you might want to get for 4th of July, like paper plates or something, just some sort of,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really, as you walked in, nothing jumped out and said, Happy 4th of July. I mean, They had some barbecue sauce, I think, and a box of corn or something to barbecue, but they didn't really have any 4th of July stuff.
No, nothing.
Or unless we both just didn't notice it.
No, they didn't even have t-shirts up front. I didn't notice any t-shirts, did you?
I wasn't looking for t-shirts, right? I was thinking about
Well,
meat.
that's what I'm just saying. I didn't see anything that was showing or that jumped out displaying the idea of 4th of July.
So, we were curious, peoples. Is that what's happening in your town? Is it the same, or is it just here, or? I
mean, we're talking Texas. Like,
we're talking,
everybody assumes when you go on the interwebs and you see different topics about anything conservative, especially. One of the conservative states that everybody wants to bring up is Texas. And it gives you the implication that you are going to go to Texas and you're going to just get bombarded with patriotism everywhere you go. And especially where we live, you would we assume coming from California.
Well, no, I mean, it's been like that past 4th of July's have been a lot more kind of flags and things and stuff. I don't know what's going on with this year. It's just kind of weird.
We didn't get the memo. But, and even if we did, still went out. I didn't go. And I feel like it was just a bit of a surprise on my part because I'm just so used to seeing way more enthusiasm about 4th of July as an American celebration for all Americans. I feel like this year, for some reason, there has been a major distinction, and maybe it's because we went into Walmart, or maybe it's because we went into our Tractor Supply, and those particular companies are definitely not about 4th of July this year because of what we've been hearing about the Walmart, whoever the heiress is of something, or whether Walmart is trying to have some big
I don't know, maybe it's because with everything going on, the country's become a lot more divisive. And so you really do have extreme left and extreme right. And so, whereas normally everybody would just say, screw it, we're going to celebrate because we want
Independence,
fireworks.
4th of July.
Yeah, Independence Day is for everybody. It doesn't matter
Everybody.
what your viewpoint is.
It should be for
And,
everyone. I mean, we're all Americans,
So it was
right?
just kind of weird.
Yeah, but we're all Americans.
We are.
Aren't we supposed to all be
I'm almost
Americans? Well, you know what I mean.
Yes, we all live here.
Or if you're a legal immigrant, you have the American spirit. Okay, I mean, it's that's what it's supposed to be about, and it's crazy to see that people have it's gotten to this extreme now, where, like you said, it's a definite, like, there's a big line that's trying to be drawn now, with actually to the point where on the other side, especially I guess it's the left side, that really wants to, they're getting to the point where they're anti-American. I mean, that's what it seems like.
No, it is. They're going so far left, they're becoming Russian.
It's
But the point is that I think a lot of people, when they, like with this whole the big beautiful bill and all that stuff, listening to just the falsehoods and that are being told by the left about what's going to happen if it passes, or all this kind of stuff, and people believe it. I mean, it's just rubbish.
Well, I think
it's not based in fact. They just say things like everybody's going to die and nobody's going to be able to eat, and small children are going to start living in holes and eating dirt, and
that was happening before this.
I think it was worse last year.
It was happening during the Biden administration.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
people couldn't afford anything.
There was pictures everywhere of all of the illegal immigrants just that ended up being on the side of the on the side of the roads and on the sidewalks, and not just them, but Americans too, that were living literally on the sidewalks. And so I don't understand. I can't see what everybody else.
But the left seemed to think that was a good idea.
Well, but it was fine when they were doing it, but all of a sudden now it's in Trump's administration that it's like, oh, it's a big terrible thing to think of somebody that's
what they call it, TDS.
Trump derangement syndrome.
I mean,
but now it's called the other TDS is tariff derangement syndrome, and that's by Besant. And I just feel like it's anything that happens to deal with the conservative side and it happened to deal with something that Trump was implementing, and people are getting together and they're doing it, which is the other. I think that concept for the Democrats, that things are actually happening. That when they go into a meeting and they get out of the meeting, it's not like years and years later.
Well, they just talk about it forever and then have another conference and another committee, and 10 years later nothing ever happens. I mean, stuff's getting done.
Right, and I think that's one of that's another part of the problem with the Democrats, who and they are refusing to acknowledge that even if they don't like the idea, they don't like the concepts, they're going to still try to acknowledge the fact that nothing is happening. They're trying, and I have to say that yes, some of the prices went up. I was shocked. I have to admit this. I was shocked to see that there are certain things that did go up, but there's also certain things that went down as well. So I feel like some people are kind of hyping up the fact that there's a lot of things that are going up, and there's a lot, but they're not making any notice of the things that are going down. Like I did notice that some of the gas prices have gone down. The price of diesel has gone down. So about $1. I mean, that's a heck of a lot, considering that everybody was saying it wasn't going to ever happen. So I feel like it's not being fair as far as the information that's being put out there. What I've seen is that yes, there are certain things I'm surprised that went up, but they were going up. They were up before this administration got voted in. I want to say it came into power, but
well, that's basically what it is.
All right, well, they came into power,
but yeah, I mean, I think you're. I mean, really, sensibly, who could not vote for a tax cut for the Americans? Not vote for spending cuts on unnecessary garbage that doesn't benefit anybody in America, but it's using American tax dollars. Who? I don't understand how they. Just because Trump said that he was going to do it, it's bad. But I mean, it's like, really? Because they just have 4 years, and and the prices you said,
And
inflation was
and
through
it's
the
not
roof.
all of the, and
And
it's
we're about
not,
to pay 22% more tax
right.
and
it's,
stuff like that. I mean,
the other thing too is not all of the Republicans, and it's also not all of the Democrats either now. So I feel like there's, as far as wanting to be on one side or the other. So I feel like some of the things that are happening, especially when it comes to today, that the mix of information isn't all being put out there up front or clear enough to where people are just making these hard assumptions that everybody on one side or the other is just that. They're on one side or the other. And that brings up to where I feel like the kind of the vibe that I was experiencing when we went out for 4th of July here in Texas was, it was just, there was no enthusiasm for America.
maybe everybody's
And
just
I was
extremely tired.
I understand being tired. Okay, we're tired every day, babe. Look at us. We don't look, I'm pretty sure right now the light is not loving me. But I feel like that's, like we always say, I mean, you got to get up and you got to keep going anyway. And you shouldn't, I think that because we're all tired, I understand that. Being tired is one thing, but not showing your love for a place that you have the right to live as free as you possibly can. You have the right to speak out. You have the right to do the things that you're doing. But unfortunately, it's gotten a little bit. Hi, this Duro. Unfortunately, it's gotten a little bit disrespectful. I have to, which is a sad thing to see. But to the point where now everybody's just like, they don't even want to celebrate our country's independence for everyone. This is Independence Day for everyone, and that's what's baffling me, and that's what I'm really surprised that that people have gotten to the point where they, like you said, are so tired that they don't even want to acknowledge it now. They're like, what everybody's become. They're not proud of being an American. I don't understand it. And then if you're not proud of being an American, and if you don't want to live here in America, and you think all the other countries that everybody else is fleeing from to come here to, then have you been there? Have you actually experienced that culture, that environment, where you feel like you can't honor or celebrate what we have here and what a lot of people have sacrificed to enable to give us the freedom to be able to say what we're saying right now.
Yeah, and I'd like if anybody in the comments can come up with one other country that you can still say what you want and
legally just walk in there freely whenever you want to, and not have to worry about someone trying to kick you out because you're not a legal immigrant there. There's there's only a handful of countries. And that's the other thing that people are trying to make a big stink about. It's like, we're being so suppressive here, and it's like if you've been to these other countries,
even the UK. I mean, they're putting people in jail for speech and just
regular speech.
Yeah, like saying, well, I don't like this, I think it's rubbish, and then that's now hate speech, and off you go to jail, like that one lady. It's just because she was complaining about the illegal immigrants there, or the migrants there. I don't know if they're migrants or whether they're illegal migrants. I don't know if they've got both, or I assume they have both, but I don't know. But anyway, it's causing problems. And she voiced her opinion on it, and off she popped to jail. And she's there now, I think. Absolute crap. I mean, England used to be a place where you could also talk freely, but not now. America is the last place I think that you can do that, it seems, unless anybody knows anywhere else.
Yeah, put it in the comments below, because right now I'm kind of sad to see how our country's becoming, as far as not even coming together and just being being excited about the fact that we are an independent, loving, free country. And everybody should, as far as everyone's screaming and yelling about that's what they're all about, then this should be the day that it should show that we should be honoring that. And so I was just kind of like, wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Even here in
Bit
Texas.
of a trip this year.
Even here
Hopefully
in
next
Texas.
year on the 250th, it'll
Yeah.
be very exciting.
I
We
hope
will
so.
see, and we will let you know if we make it to next year, because you never know. But anyway,
Why would you say that? Why?
well,
would you be so
anything could
ominous?
happen.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be grandparents.
We are. But anyway, so we wanted to
anything
say,
could happen then.
for our first tea time on this 249th Independence Day, we wish you happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th
Happy
of July.
Independence Day.
Yes.
And go out and celebrate it.
Everyone.
Enjoy.
Who cares? Just if you're an American, if you have that American spirit, it is still 4th of July. It's our Independence Day. It's our time to be excited about our freedom and our independence as Americans and American spirited people. Okay?
Yes.
That's it.
All right.
All right, you guys.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.